Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. So guys, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. So guys, we're going to talk about Nnamdi Kanu'S so-called accelerated trial under Justice James Omotosho. Guys, for 7 months now, they have told us that Kanu is on an accelerated trial. Justice James Omotosho promised us, that Kanu's trial is going to be accelerated. But guys, all we have been seeing is from one adjournment date to another adjournment date. Guys, Kanu has been in fact, ever since this is 7 months. Justice Omotosho started presiding over Kanu's case, and guys, what we have been seeing is from one adjournment date to another. For 7 months now, they have told us that Nnamdi Kanu is on an accelerated trial. They put it on the front page of newspapers, they say it on radio, they announce it on TV. But when you look closer, you see a lie that they cannot even hide. Today, I'm going to be breaking down everything for you now, date by date, step by step, and at the end you will see that this so-called accelerated trial is nothing but an empty bus wasting fuel, while the real passengers, our freedom, remains locked inside. Now, let us start with these facts. Now, on March 21st, 2025, Nnamdi Kanu's fresh trial began under Justice James Omotosho. The government said they were ready, to give Kanu a fair trial. So Justice James Omotosho started presiding over the case. They brought their charges, their witnesses, their so-called evidence, guys, so-called evidence for 3 months. That's March, April, and May. Court sessions were held, but June 19th, the federal government closed its case. Meanwhile, they finished bringing all they have. At that point, common sense says the defense should start immediately, same week, same month. Now, but they didn't, but they did not do that. No, they packed up their files, locked Kanu back in DSS custody, and adjourned the case to October 10th. 4 months gap. Why nobody explains? Now, let me now tell you something. Now, listen to this picture, because they claim that Kanu, the trial of Kanu is accelerated according to James Omotosho, but all we see is what? All we see is from one adjournment date to another, from one adjournment date to another. Ask yourself, who benefits from these 4 months of silence? Who benefits from this? Because for 4 months now, it has just been adjournment for 4 months. It has just been adjournment for 4 months. Who benefits from this silence? Number one is the federal government. They buy time to manufacture more evidences, fix their weak cases, or break Kanu's spirit through endless solitary detention. Number two is the politicians in the East. Yes, the politicians in the East. Allegedly, a man has come out, a soldier, an ex soldier has come out to say that the politicians in the East are the ones benefiting from this silence. In fact, they are the ones behind, this endless detention of Nnamdi Kanu. Take a look at this. Let me just play a clip of this video to hear what this man said for you. Guys, take a look.
But if you are killing, you are ranting in the East without taking a proper step, Nnamdi Kanu will not be released. I am not praying that he should be there. Because the governors and the House of Senate rep in the East, they are behind his detention. Because why? If Nnamdi Kanu come outside, those people call themselves governor, House of Rep, they will not have the opportunity in any position in Biafra land. They might be.
So guys, you heard what that man said. In fact, he even mentioned Soludo, mentioned Wike, mentioned Mba, mentioned OT, and Ozodinma as the people that are behind Kanu's endless detention. Now, I want you guys to understand this thing perfectly. On March 21st, 2025, Nnamdi Kanu's trial started again under Justice James Omotosho. The government said they were ready to give him a fair trial. Now, they brought their charges, their witnesses, and their so-called evidences, which none can prove he's a terrorist. And then, for 3 months, which is March, April, and May, court sessions were held. It was held when by June 18th, the federal government closed its case, meaning they have finished bringing all their evidences. Now, at that point, common sense says the defense should start immediately. That's just it. The same week and the same month. But what did they do? They packed up their files. They adjourned the case to October 10th, guys. You can see that, Kanu has just been coming to court for like March, April, and May. And from May now to, they have actually adjourned it to October 10th. I mean, in 4 months, Kanu is going to be, in detention with no trial, all adjournment. Can you imagine? Under Justice James Omotosho, will you actually call this an accelerated trial? In fact, Kanu's trial is a scam. Yes, it's a scam because they're just playing with him, playing with his case, bringing him to court without giving him a fair trial. But now, remember that I said that, when they close their case, what should happen? At this point, they have to even start defense. They should start it immediately, the same week, the same month. But what did they do? They packed up their files, locked Kanu back in DSS custody, and adjourned the case to October 10th. 4 month gap. Why? Imagine. Now, let me now tell you how, let me now describe to you how this kind of trial is. Imagine you have a bus, you loaded passengers at the park, they sit inside, you drive them to their stop, but by June 19th, you dropped them off. Now, for 4 months, you're driving empty, you're driving empty, you're burning fuel, but no passengers inside. This is exactly what they call accelerated trial. They did this, they did 3 months of hearing, but 4 months of adjournment. Does it even make sense? They did 3 months of hearing and then 4 months of adjournment, meaning that the waiting period is longer than the trial itself. So I don't call this an accelerated trial. And why they drive this empty bus, the only real passenger is Nnamdi Kanu being locked up inside custody. He cannot come down, he can't talk freely, he cannot get bail, he cannot get medical care. So what exactly is the accelerated trial all about? Because what we're seeing is, injustice. Injustice. Ask yourself who is benefiting from all these things. The federal government. They buy time to manufacture more evidence, fix their weak cases, or break Kanu's spirits through endless solitary detention. Number two is the politicians in the East. Just like I said, ex-soldier has come out to expose politicians in the East, saying that the ones behind Kanu's endless detention, the so-called leaders who make empty promises during an election but disappear when the people's voice is locked up. Number three of people that are benefiting from this Kanu's endless detention is those who profit from confusion. The same few who fear that a free Kanu means a free people, ready to demand true federalism, equity, or even self-determination. They call it an accelerated trial, but what it really means is accelerated punishment without judgment. They keep him in detention longer than longer than they sit in court. They call this an accelerated trial, but what it means is an accelerated punishment without judgment. They keep him in detention longer than they sit in court. Kanu was in court for 3 months ever since Justice James Omotosho started presiding over his case. And then, he has been sitting in DSS custody for 4 months, meaning that the waiting period is actually longer than the time they sit in court. Remember, this whole trial is built on rotten ground. This whole trial is built on rotten ground. They have said it. As far as Kanu was illegally redemptioned, that means his trial is invalid. International law says if you kidnap someone from another country, as they did to Kanu in Kenya in 2021, the charges become contaminated. Extraordinary redemption is illegal under global treaties Nigeria signed. Yet the Supreme Court danced around it. Instead of freeing him outright, they ordered a fresh trial. But fresh trial for what? Fresh trial for what? The same charges, the same evidence, the same illegal foundation. So what do? They wrap it in a new name, accelerated hearing, to distract you. Meanwhile, court orders for his medical treatment are ignored. Bail requests are denied. Documents are hidden. Witnesses appear and disappear. Is that the accelerated trial? This is not due process. This is a delayed tactics disguised as fast-track justice. Eastern governors, and where the voices, they should be people that are supposed to be fighting. Imagine your governors, your senators, your elders who carry red cards during the election. Where are they now? Instead of demanding his release, they are attending dinners, post for photos, and tell you to stay calm. The betrayal is not only from Abuja, it is from within, just like an ex-soldier has come out to say. The betrayal is not only from Abuja, it is from within, because silence is the strongest weapon of the oppressor. Because certain governors are silent when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu'S case. I mean, Southeast governors. They fear that if this bus stop, if they fear that if this bus stops, the truth will come out. If Kanu is free, the truth will come out. They fear that if Kanu speaks freely, more young people will question Nigerians' broken promises. They fear that his message, that's the persecution of the Igbos must end with this generation, will become unstoppable, because that's the message of Martin Nnamdi Kanu. His message is that the persecution of the Igbos must end with this generation. And they fear that his message, because to become unstoppable. So they keep him inside the bus, packed, engine running, driver pretending to move, but nobody is getting anywhere. That's exactly the case of Martin Nnamdi Kanu. So next time someone says accelerated trial, remember the empty bus, remember the date, 3 months of hearing. Just like I said, I actually described Martin Nnamdi Kanu's so-called accelerated trial with a moving bus. Imagine when when you carry passengers, and you're moving after you now drop them, and then you carry an empty bus, your fuel is burning, you're just going. That's what they are doing to Martin Nnamdi Kanu. Remember that the longer they drag it, the more they hope you forget. But we will not forget. So you can see what we're seeing in Martin Nnamdi Kanu's case. They say it's accelerated, but it's not. They're just punishing him. If you stand for truth, share this video, drop a comment under the comment section. Let's talk about it. Now, listen to me carefully today, because this is not gossip, this is not noise, this is a cold fact. For several months now, Martin Nnamdi Kanu has been dragged from one court date to another under the so-called accelerated trial of Justice James Omotosho. If you open your eyes well, you will see that this trial is not moving forward. It's not moving forward at all. They've kept that man there for so long. It is driving in circles, empty, wasting time, wasting life, wasting hope. If you open your eyes, you will see that this trial is not moving forward at all. It is driving in circles, roundabouts, empty, wasting time, wasting Kanu's life, wasting his time, wasting people's hope. Today we'll break down the timelines, the betrayal, the hidden plan, and why the Eastern political leaders are not even concerned about his case. This is the truth. This is the truth they pray you will never understand. Now, first, the timeline is because this is where they always think you are not paying attention. March 21st, like I said, 2025, the fresh trial begins. Headlines everywhere, justice at last. That's what they are saying. They were saying, okay, since Justice Omotosho is now presiding over the case, they were saying justice at last. But guys, what we are seeing is, in fact, some people would even prefer, like there are some people that would even, because during the time of Binta Nyako, it was worst. We were thinking that Justice James Omotosho will do the right thing, at least give Kanu a fair trial. But no, from one adjournment state to another. The one that even pained us is this one that just happened this October 10th. What for? What's the vacation for? How will you keep a man's life hanging in detention and then you're going for vacation? For what? When you know that he's innocent, why can't you just obey this law? This same law you guys brag about, you guys take about, this same law you obey to jail someone. Why can't you obey to release Martin Nnamdi Kanu? It's not a big deal. Now, April, they presented their witnesses. May, they argued points, the cross-examination. May, they made noise and press. June 19th, the federal government closed the case. Now, in any sane court, the defense steps in immediately. After they close the case, the defense must start immediately. But guys, guess what? They adjourned it again after they closed the case. But instead, the so-called accelerated trial hits the break. They adjourned to October 10th, a shocking 4-month gap. So out of these 7 months, the bus carried real passengers for only 3 months. But for 4 months, the bus is moving but empty. What is the accelerated trial for? Now the system, what is happening now is just, they're just punishing Martin Nnamdi Kanu for no reason, trying to keep him there. Why is it they don't want to finish this case? Why not just finish the case now? Why stretch it to October, then maybe November, then and then next year? Somebody said, please, you have anything to say? Put it under the comment section. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Somebody said the point is that the government owned the judiciary. That's all. That is true. They have bought it. That is why you see Wike building houses for judges. For what? They have bought them. That is why they keep, playing around with his, playing with Kanu, playing with his trial. The truth is there in the law. It's there in the constitution. That the fact that this man was, brought in illegally, his case is in fact, why is this case still on? I keep on asking myself, why is this trial still on? When he says that he was illegally redemption from Kenya to Nigeria, in fact, they kidnapped him. So why is the case still on? Who is the terrorist now in this matter? Nigerian government went ahead to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu's. So who is the terrorist now? Why not just finish the case? What this person said is true. The point is that the government, they have bought them. They have put them in their pockets. Whatever they say they should do, that's what they are going to do. That is why Kanu is not getting a free trial. Why not just finish the case? Why must they? This July 18 trial, it shocked everyone. In fact, it made everyone traumatized because, that was the day they were supposed to release Nnamdi Kanu. That was the day. In fact, it was certain because Kenya High Court has come out to give their own judgment. That Kanu is innocent. We were expecting that Justice Omotosho is going to obey, and he's obeying his own law. But then why are they adjourning this case when it's already clear? The truth is clear for even an illiterate to understand. Why not just finish the case? Why must they stretch it to October? The way it's even going, it's as if they'll keep stretching it to even next year. It doesn't make any sense. They're just purposely keeping that man there. The answer is very simple. The longer they drag, the more they weaken. In fact, the truth is that, let me now tell you something. No matter how they keep on dragging this case, if Justice Omotosho let him go for vacation for 10 years, if he likes, because their plan is just to keep him there. But the truth is, you cannot silence Kanu. Don't even expect Kanu to back out, because he did not back out in his first year. He did not back out. I think this year is going to make him 5 years in detention. He did not back out in his in the second year. Is it now in the 5th year? He said he doesn't mind if he stays here. When Binta Nyako was still presiding over his case, he said he doesn't mind if they add another year, if he stays there for another year. As far as Justice Binta Nyako recused herself from his case, and which she did, Justice Justice Omotosho now started presiding over the case. What we are seeing, we're thinking that he's going to do better. We're thinking that he knows the law better. We're thinking that he's going to obey the law, but guys, what we're seeing is from one adjournment to another. 10th of October is much. It's much to release an innocent man that did not do anything. And it's not like that 10th of October, they're even ready to release him. It's just to continue his trial. You can see the way they are delaying him, wasting his time, dragging him to court without giving him a fair trial. Now, behind the scenes, the state uses delay as a silent weapon. Behind the scene, the state uses delay as a silent weapon. Delay kills hope, delay wears out family, delay breaks movement. Ask any political prisoner in history, from Mandela to Ghani to Ken Saro-Wiwa. The system doesn't allow, doesn't always kill you with a bullet. It kills your spirit with endless adjournment. When you cannot speak, when you are locked up in solitary, when you are cut off from your people, your words grow cold. But in Kanu's case, no matter, even in court section, his voice is still loud for everyone to hear. So that is why the so-called accelerated trial is not fast. It's not fast, it's a slow poison. Now, somebody said something. Remember, I said, if you have anything to say, put it under the comment section. Let's talk about it. He says, the judge already know how this case is going to end. They are just playing games with Nnamdi Kanu. They're just playing with him. Propaganda, playing politics. Justice Omotosho promised accelerated trial. I will not forget that. What is happening? What is happening? Let's not forget the roots of this matter, the crime that the Nigerian state does not want to talk about. Yes, even when Kenya High Court has come out to talk about it, they were calm. They were so calm. They didn't want to talk about it. Now, in June 2021, they kidnapped Kanu from Kenya. They called it an interception. We know it was an international crime, an extraordinary redemption. In simple English, they broke Kenya law, they broke international human rights law, they broke their own constitution. Every genuine court should throw out such a case because you cannot prosecute a man you kidnapped like a common animal. It's just it. Every genuine court should throw out such a case because you cannot prosecute a man you kidnapped like a common animal. Even USS observers that came to Nigeria to see how they're handling Kanu's case said, why is this case on at first? They said, why is this case still on till now when he was kidnapped? His case is invalid. Yet, instead of dismissing the charges, the Supreme Court said, start again, a fresh trial. And the Omotosho court picked up the same old file and called it accelerated. No apology, no accountability, no admission that the state violated international norms. This is not justice. This is a state punishment. Yes, we were expecting after Kenya High Court has come out to declare that Kanu was kidnapped and therefore he should be released and sent back to Kenya where they picked him up from. We were thinking that Nigerian government will come out and admit the truth. But to today, they have not admitted that truth, that they kidnapped him. My people, if betrayal has a face, it is not just in Abuja, it lives among us. Where are the Eastern governors? Where are the Eastern governors? Where are the Southeast senators who boast during campaigns? We stand with the people, we stand with the people. Where are they? They fly to Abuja, they share oil blocks, they sign secret deals, but they cannot stand in front of Aso Rock and demand the release of their own son. Where is the so-called Ohanese? Where are the so-called elites? One man sits alone for 7 months in his family. For 7 months, that's under Justice Omotosho. He has been in detention for over 5 years now.
But if you are killing, you are ranting in the east without taking a proper step, Nnamdi Kanu will not be released. I am not praying that he should be there. Because the governors and the House of Senate rep in the east, they are behind his detention. Because why? If Nnamdi Kanu come outside, those people call themselves governor, House of Rep, they will not have the opportunity in any position in Biafra land. They might be chased out of Biafra. That is why they are making sure Nnamdi Kanu should not be released. This is my advice. I come in peace. I mean no harm. Detaining Nnamdi Kanu, they pay me for body because why? Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist leader. He's a freedom fighter. Why are you people detaining a freedom fighter and leave the leaders of Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen? Why should you people leave the leaders of Boko Haram, ISWAP, banditry, and you people know them? They give you the list. And now, when I come to face Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, is he up to the terrorist leader in the north? If not another person, they arrest for this kind of treason. When they say treason, are you aware the person not go reach this kind of time for prison detention? Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent person. They just hate him because why? They still say he's wise. If the country divide, peace go there, everybody go you. It go affect them. They don't say if the country divide, those who are ruling now, the governor ruling in the east now, they are not going to get it right. That is why they are doing amebo to the president that they should not release what? Nnamdi Kanu. Because why? They are not going to benefit in the movement of Biafra country. That's why they are doing so. If you say you don't hear from me, I don't tell you now waiting this up now. Make una do the right thing. Moving, mobilize to Abuja, DSS for a massive protest on that court day. Now you go stop the release of Nnamdi Kanu. May they give una leaders. You don't do anything. If not and therefore don't hold that place ransom seas. Not be to do sit at home, man. Please. Not be sit at home, go release Nnamdi Kanu. Do the right thing, the people of Biafra. I want una to do the right thing. October,
become
But if you people are killing, you are ranting in the east without taking a proper step, Nnamdi Kanu will not be released. I am not praying that he should be there. Because the governors and the House of Senate rep in the east, they are behind his detention. Because why? If Nnamdi Kanu come outside, those people call themselves governor House of Rep, they will not have the opportunity in any position in Biafra land. They might be chased out of Biafra. That is why they are making sure Nnamdi Kanu should not be released. This is my advice. I come in peace. I mean no harm. Detaining Nnamdi Kanu, they pay me for body because why? Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist leader. He's a freedom fighter. Why are you people detaining a freedom fighter and leave the leaders of Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen? Why should you people leave the leaders of Boko Haram, ISWAP, banditry, and you people know them? They give you the list. And now, when I come to face Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, is he up to the terrorist leader in the north? If not another person, they arrest for this kind of treason. When they say treason, are you aware the person not go reach this kind of time for prison detention? Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent person. They just hate him because why? They still say he's wise. If the country divide, peace go there, everybody go it go affect them. They don't say if the country divide, those who are ruling now, the governor ruling in the east now, they are not going to get it right. That is why They are doing amebo to the president that they should not release what Nnamdi Kanu, because why? They are not going to benefit in the movement of Biafra country. That's why they are doing so. If you say you don't hear from me, I don't tell you now waiting this up now. Make una do the right thing. Mobilize to Abuja DSS for a massive protest on that court day. Now go stop the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Make them give una
when the president calm down, the reason Nnamdi Kanu have a discussion with him. You have been having a discussion with bandits and the so-called repentant Boko Haram. Tell me the offense of Nnamdi Kanu, because he's agitating for self-determination, which is his own constitutional fundamental rights granted to him by the constitution and the law.
Well, the government's angle is not because of the agitation, because they know that everyone has a right to agitate, but they said the way he was going about it,
like
and then people were being incited. Well, that's even not what I'm
what of the wife of the president incited people during the election? The wife of the president, he incited people that Igbo should go. What of the one Oba of Lagos said that Igbo should go and fall into lagoon? What of those that came out and said that Igbos will not vote? If you are not voting for APC, you will not vote. What happened to them? Has anybody been arrested? That Nnamdi Kanu said something, then you now term that thing he said as is a terrorist, is a crime of terrorism. You charge him for terrorism. His own lawful organization that is registered in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe and Asia, and you now came to Nigeria, you term it a terrorist organization. Now you are now saying that now that IPOB is being recognized in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe. So you are now saying that America, France, Germany, they are recognizing a terrorist organization because you don't want anybody to agitate. You want to suppress anybody. If you talk, you kill him, suppress him, jail him. In a country that is predicated on constitutional governance, it cannot work like that.
Okay, let's get back to the ministerial nomination of Bianca Ojukwu, because you said he took away one from Anambra and brought in another. But remember that the president took away the minister based on the KPI.
Ṣé Ibrahim ọmọ ẹ lọ́wọ́ inú oko yọ sórí. Ọ̀gá ni ṣé inú oko kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Ṣé inú oko kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Inú oko kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Kí ló ń ṣe inú oko? Inú oko lẹ́wà yìí? Inú oko pákílẹ̀ kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Ṣé inú oko pákílẹ̀ kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Ọ̀gá Ibrahim yẹn ni màá sẹ̀nẹ̀ sí sí. Ṣé inú oko pákílẹ̀ kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Ẹ̀dẹ̀ náà wọ inú oko. Inú oko kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Kí pákílẹ̀ lẹ ti ń jẹ yìí? Pákílẹ̀ lẹ ti ń jẹ yìí? Ìjẹ́jẹ́ ṣe ìlú dá gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lè jẹ tán yìí, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lè jẹ tán yìí, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lè jẹ tán yìí. Gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lè jẹ tán yìí. Ṣé ilé ìjẹsẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ní kí n wá ìjẹsẹ̀ ìlú dá máa kàn bá ṣe dára sí. Inú ìbàkọ́ lè wà yìí, inú ìbàkọ́ lè wà yìí, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́wọ́ gòkè mẹ́rin, ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́wọ́ gòkè tẹ̀ wà yìí. Eléyìí tó kójú ẹ̀kọ́ yìí, inú kọ́kọ́ yìí kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí, ṣé inú kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí? Ṣé inú kọ́ lẹ́wà yìí ó ti tọ́? Okay, ó ti tọ́.